Welcome to the Business School Micro Studio. Thought I'd give you a little bit of a tour. It's here on S706. Now the first thing when you come in the door, there are two light switches. One turns on the lights in the room and the other turns on the recording light outside. The next thing when you come in is you've got a light here. Just make sure you don't bump into it. Now let's have a look at the rest of the room. Okay, one of the first things you'll see when you come in the room is you've got a monitor at the back of the room. Now that's set up with in PowerPoint with your instructor view, so you can see your notes here. Now you can increase the size of these areas here and increase the size of your font. The instructions on how to do that are just down here below. The next thing is you've got the camera. Now usually with PowerPoint the only way you'll actually see yourself is in that small camera view there, so that's what you're looking at when you're lining yourself up on the video quite often. Off to the other side we've got the computer, and the way this theatre works is, the studio works, is we stream the video straight from the camera into the computer, and we use Video Express or Camtasia or some other software perhaps in the future to do all the editing and recording there, and that combines your slides and the video from the camera to create your output. Up above, there's our second light. We have three lights in the room, two at the back of the room and one at the front. One of the other things we have in the room is a 55-inch monitor. This is a touchscreen monitor, which means you can present in front of it and mark up your slides and have your slides behind you. So it's more like capturing the sort of presentation you do in a lecture theatre. Now, as well as the touchscreen, you've got a few other options for backdrops. You can just use this plain grey acoustic panelling, which is quite nice. If you want to create that floating body in front of your slides, we use the green screen for that. If you want to just have a plain backdrop, say for an interview or just for you presenting straight to the camera, we've got a neutral blue backdrop there as well, so you've got those options. When you first come into the room, as I said, you turn the lights on at the wall, but you also have a remote control here. Now that has an L and a C on it. The L is for lights, and that turns the three lights on, and the C turns on the camera and the rear monitor. So that's all you need to do. So you press the first button to turn them on and the second button to turn them off. Don't turn anything off at the wall and don't turn anything off at the switches. We've got a few other things in the room to make your life easier. We've got a mobile podium here that raises and lifts. On there you can move the wireless mouse or the wireless keyboard, so you can move those in front of you while you're presenting. We also have a presenter tool. The USB is plugged into the back of the computer, so you don't have to worry about that. You just use that and turn that on and off. We also have a remote for the camera. That's the only thing you would use that for, is the zoom. We don't record to the camera, we record to the computer. So we don't actually press the record button on here. So you'd use the zoom in and out, and if your framing's not quite right, we edit that in the software later on. To record the audio in this room, we've got a speaker on the camera, but we don't tend to use that. What we do use is this floor mic. Now there's a marker on the floor that says mic, and you place that there. You don't have to adjust it up and down. It's adjusted so it won't appear in the shot, but it will actually pick up your voice quite clearly. So you just place that where it sits, it's out of shot, and it picks up your voice beautifully. Now you can bring in a USB, but it's probably more convenient just to use your normal folders. When you log in here, you're coming in using your own login, so you'll have access to your own documents in your own files. So you'll be able to open your PowerPoints and things straight from there. The same thing applies when you're saving your files. If you save them onto your folder, then you've got them when you go back to your office or from home. So that's a lot more convenient. But again, if you want to use your USB, you can. So I hope you found that studio tour useful. If you want to use the room, use the booking form and check the calendar to make sure it's free. If you haven't used the room before and you're not feeling comfortable using it, contact me, Cameron Nichol, on 34563, or better to email me, and I can hold your hand and walk you through the basics. Even if you've been through it a few times, we'll have some instructions on the desk that are nice and simple and nice and clear, and we'll help you refamiliarise it. But again, if you get stuck, let me know and I'm quite happy to walk you through it again. So use the room. I think it's a quite useful resource, and I hope you get a lot from it.